Hi, in this video I'm going to talk with you about some critical products from the ordinary, share my personal experience with some of them, and tell you why I think you should review if you are planning on using them. My name is Marisa and I would like to thank you for tuning into this video. In my channel Marisagrusso, we talk about everything beauty and lifestyle, focusing on over 50 issues. So if you think that this content might interest you, please consider subscribing and following me on Instagram. Before we start, I would like to say that I'm not a doctor or a professional esthetician, and the views I'm going to share with you reflect my personal experience, and also considering that I have a degree in chemical engineering, the hours and hours I spent in laboratory working with different chemical products. I would also like to say that I'm a big fan of The Ordinary, since this company was the first one to provide us at affordable prices active ingredients that really work and that are backed up by scientific studies. And talking about being a big fan, I've become aware that my friend Lisa from Lisa Monique Beauty is also publishing a video on The Ordinary. I think about a skincare regimen that DCM built out for her. So if you are curious, check out her video. I will place the link below on the description and also at the end cards. The first product I would like to talk about is this one, the AHA 30% plus BHA 2% peeling solution. And I know that this one is a favorite of many of you, but please hear me out. In Portugal during the 80s, being tan was all the rage, and as soon as classes were finished, all the teenagers would go to the beach and lay in the sand for entire days without any type of sun protection, even if it meant to get a little or even a lot sunburned. Now, I quickly realized that for me, the best way was not to do that, but to use sunscreen and lay the majority of the time beneath an umbrella. And with a lot of patience, at the end of the month, I would get a nice golden color. And this is exactly my philosophy regarding acids, which are, please forgive me, in fashion at the moment. I think that this product is an overkill. If you are in your 20s and 30s, you will never have better skin. So what you want is to help and encourage your skin natural process of desquamation. It's important to realize as well that as we grow older, our skin becomes drier, more fragile, and definitely more sensitive. So you may actually be surprised to find that your skin is not as resilient as it was and no longer supports and accepts things that you throw at her as it did when you were younger. And this product is very strong. So for more than 6 months now, I have been consistently daily using azelaic acid, and each 2 weeks I either dermaplane or I use for 10 minutes a 10% solution of lactic acid. And even so, the first and only time I used this product, I ended up having a rash here around my mouth on the most delicate area, despite having used for only 10 minutes as it was stated. The second product that I don't recommend is the 100% L-ascorbic acid powder, and for two main reasons. The first one is that vitamin C or L-ascorbic acid is from the three main vitamins that we can have in our skincare: vitamin A, which is retinoic acid, vitamin B, niacinamide, and vitamin C. This last one is definitely the one which has more potential to irritate the skin. Vitamin C is the last one that dermatologists introduce in a skincare regimen. Even retinoic acid or tretinoin is less irritant than vitamin C. So when choosing to have vitamin C in our skincare, we want to use a product that has the best formulation possible and the right concentration of vitamin C appropriate for our skin and our needs. After all, we want to improve our skin, not damage it. And the second issue is that The Ordinary provides a very small scoop, tiny indeed, to pick up what they say is the right amount to make the solution of L-ascorbic acid. But the issue is when we want to prepare a solution and we want to make sure we use always the same quantity in order to obtain always the same concentration and always the same pH, we don't use scoops, we use scales. And the lesser quantity of product we have to measure, the more precise the scales have to be. In a laboratory, we even have scales that have glasses all around to make sure that the air currents do not affect the weight of the product being measured. So as you can imagine, when you use a very small scoop to pick up the product, the variation in the quantity may be extremely big. So you end up not knowing what is the exact concentration of vitamin C that you are using, and you can end up having a solution which, instead of having pH 3.5, for instance, has pH 2. In order for vitamin C to be stable in water, the pH needs to be between 3 and 3.5. But when we go below pH 3, we are entering into high acidic solutions that, stating it plainly, burn the skin. And I highly doubt that everyone that is using this product, each time it makes a batch of solution, checks the pH using a pH strip. And even if it did, the pH strips are used to give indications of pH. They are not accurate, and if you look at the colors that are used, sometimes it's difficult to differentiate and ascertain which one it is exactly. So again, if I understand why The Ordinary retails 100% niacinamide powder, the same does not apply to 100% L-ascorbic acid powder. It's not safe. The third product that I don't recommend are actually these two, and they are the vitamin C suspension 23% plus hyaluronic spheres in 2% and vitamin C suspension 30% in silicone. And why is it that I don't like these products? Well, in my opinion, one of the least positive aspects of The Ordinary is that they seem to use high percentages of actives as a marketing tool. But the point is that when products have scientific studies that back up the benefits that they bring to skincare, those scientific studies also state what is the concentration range in which the products have to be used. So, for instance, vitamin C should be used in a percentage between 5 and 15%. That means that any concentration above 15% either does not bring any benefit besides what we would obtain with only 15, or if it brings, it also adds up on the possible secondary effects, namely irritation. And these two products have extremely high concentrations, 23% and 30%, and they are not solutions. They don't have any water. So the vitamin C in these two products will remain extremely powerful during much longer than on a water solution. The probability of irritating your skin when you use one of these is extremely high. I'm accustomed to use vitamin C. This was the second bottle of vitamin C in 20% concentration with ferulic acid and vitamin E, and even so I felt that these two products sting in my face when I use them. So this is definitely one of those cases in which higher is not better, and I don't recommend them. If you want to introduce vitamin C in your skincare regimen, I would advise other formulations from The Ordinary, namely some with ascorbic acid in water or in oil, or even to start with a derivative of ascorbic acid that will have less efficiency but will also be a better place to start because they are less irritant. The Ordinary has on their website a guide in which they list all their formulations and they indicate if the products are very strong or they are more mild, and therefore you have a clear guide with which product you should start. And this is it for this video. I hope it has been useful. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much for the time that you have spent with me. Don't forget to take a look at Lisa's video. I will place below in the description the link for it. Until next time, bye!